thank you so much for staying with us. Let's get started looking at some of the stories. One of the biggest stories Nigerians are talking about today is the impeachment of the Edo State Deputy Governor, Philip Shuaibu. And the Edo State House of Assembly on Monday impeached the embattled State Deputy Governor, Philip Shuaibu. The impeachment followed the adoption of the report of the 7-man investigative panel set up by the State Chief Judge to probe allegation of misconduct against Shuaibu. The panel was headed by Justice S.A. Omonwa, retired, and he ended its sitting on Friday after Shuaibu failed to appear before it. He was probed on allegation of perjury and leaking of government documents. The panel had adjourned till Thursday for Shuaibu to open his defense, and when he didn't show up, he was given until Friday to come and defend the allegation against him, which he failed to do. The State Assembly, which is the petitioner in the case, had opened and closed its case, paving the way for Shuaibu to defend the allegation leveled against him. Shuaibu's counsel, Oladoyin Awoyali, attended the Wednesday, that's the opening day sitting, but excused himself in the middle of the hearing after the panel refused his prayer to suspend the proceeding pending the outcome of a suit filed in Abuja by Shuaibu challenging the impeachment move against him. So while he had that pending here in Abuja, to quash that, the verdict was given today, having him impeached. And, well, naturally, as expected, you don't expect him to just take it and accept it, do you? He's saying that he rejects his impeachment as the deputy governor of Edo. He was impeached today after members of Edo Assembly adopted the report of the 7-member investigative panel. And I give you a bit of the detail. Speaking in a video posted on his X handle, Shuaibu said the allegation leveled against him by the lawmakers were trumped-up charges and a smokescreen to conceal the real motive of those who wanted him out. The embattled deputy governor said he was impeached because of his interest to contest the 2024 Edo governorship election. And quoting him, he says, "I denounce in the strongest term the illegal impeachment by the Edo State House of Assembly over trumped-up charges. This is not just an attack on me as an individual, but on the democratic principles that we hold there. It is a dangerous descent to dictatorship or into dictatorship and a threat to the foundation of our democracy. Let it be clear that this impeachment was hatched because of my ambition to contest the 2024 Edo State governorship election under the PDP, an ambition that is a legal right of all citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is a sad reality that in our political landscape, ambition is met with resistance, and those in power seek to silence opposition through illegitimate means. I have dedicated my life to serving the good people of Edo State with integrity and honesty." And Shuaibu said the injustice meted on him will be fought with every iota of strength for the sake of the people of the state, and added that he believes that the legal system would vindicate him while calling on the people of the state to rise against the injustice. If you're telling people rise against injustice, what do you tell them to do exactly? Well, not everyone in the state is interested in the politics of how things play out. They'll wait for you to sort yourself out, then you get to them, yeah? But yeah, what do you make of this? I mean, we saw this coming a long time back, from when the feud started between him and his principal. It felt like at one point it tapered out a little. Peace was restored. Normalcy was returned. They had kind of like, even though it was more like a graveyard peace between them, we saw clips here and there, videos emerging of wanting to hug, wanting to greet in church and denied by security aides when he wanted to greet his principal, and then intervention by people high and mighty to try and see how they can just mend fences. But apparently all that did not work. Eventually, it led to his office being relocated. And we saw when he made the move to run for governorship of the state, having a faction in his party and declaring himself the right candidate for the PDP, which caused a little bit of problem. The National Working Committee said, we didn't set this one up. And a lot of people are wondering how it's going to cost the party when they get to the polls. Well, I think the final straw, maybe not, because this twist, this plot can still take a different twist altogether. Another surprise would come around the corner. So for now, it's the impeachment move that has been made on him as deputy governor. And to show that they do not intend to waste any time, they already have, handpicked the new the Edo State Assembly, as they impeached him, they already have someone in the wings to take over that particular job. 38 years old Omo Bayo to replace impeached rival as deputy governor of the state. So it will be very interesting from now to when we get to the polls, focusing on PDP. PDP isn't only the party having problem. I mean, Labour Party on its own in Edo State also has a bit of drama going on the wings of it. So it will be interesting to see how Edo election will pan out. I recall people always say Edo no be Lagos, but Edo, what is going on exactly? It seems like your politics get very intense. It's usually a fight to the finish situation. And then you always get, from Adams or Shomole to Philip, we've seen a handover that is always very controversial, enough for, party to be moved. Will Philip Schreiber leave the PDP? Well, some people doubt that. Where would he go next if he leaves the PDP? Remember, he came out of the APC with his principal when he also had his drama with Adams or Shomole. So would he be going back there? But politicians, going back to your vomit is no big deal at all. It means nothing. For other people who feel like, oh, no, you shouldn't go back there. But what would be his next move, aside from the legal one? I remember he has a case here in Abuja. It's left for the court to interpret it. If they say the impeachment move cannot be made, it now looks at how that will be interpreted, because it's already been impeached. And if it will be overturned by the court, it's left for us to get to see. But what do you think his next best move should be? A lot of people advise he should have resigned from the party before now. Some have said he should have resigned as the deputy governor before now. Which move should he have made, and what is the best move to make moving forward? Let us know as you call in and share your thoughts with us. Like I mentioned, we're on Facebook. We are on YouTube at Nigeria Info Abuja. You can leave your thoughts there also. 38-year-old Omo Bayo is scheduled to be sworn in as Edo State Government House, Benin City, in the next couple of hours. Born on the 19th of July, 1986, Mobile hails from Akoko Edo, local government of the state. He holds a bachelor degree in electrical, electronics, and a master's degree in public administration from the University of Benin. Shoaib was impeached earlier today, and we have this 38-year-old young man ready to step in his shoes if that happens. But all eyes would be on Edo at this point to see how this pans out. Now, I see some people within the PDP gloating, saying, oh, yeah, they tried to bite the finger that fed him. He tried to do this. He was, exhibiting all kinds of anti-party activity. Well, it was his ambition, apparently. Perhaps it got too big for his britches, because he got ambitious. He wanted to be governor, and well within his right to. He's got the experience as deputy governor. He's got the energy, the drive, perhaps the commitment also. And he says, I shouldn't be denied on that front. But they know politics. They're already looking at region. Your place where you're from, your senatorial district, this one is already represented. We needed to move somewhere else. So a lot of things might be at work against Philip Schreiber at this moment. And do you think he's playing his cards smartly, wisely, or not? I would love to get your take following the development in Edo State, what you make of how Philip Schreiber has played his hand politically from start to this point where he's been impeached. If you have a say on this particular story, feel free to call me up on 0700 951 0000, or you can call 0809 59 74869. Our WhatsApp number is also available for you to call 0809 9930137. Hello.
Hi, Kim.
Yes.
Come
We are.
You called my name. Are you doing giveaway without asking questions?
No giveaway.
I can't even answer questions to save my own.
I mentioned your name in passing based on something you said some time back. Go ahead, Mrs. Omeza.
Minister of Power surprised me. Sometimes, if you don't have much to say, just don't say anything. I'm patronizing Nigerian Info. Which one be your own? If I'm patronizing you every day, your own is for me to do the right thing, let it be legit. Simple. So you coming out to say Nigerians are wasteful. I bet you should withdraw that statement, because I don't want to say what is in my mind. You yank me off. You shouldn't say that. If I can afford to live my life from money to money, and which one be your own? So long I'm paying. Let me tell you the truth. I know people.
No, but aside from even if you're paying, there are days where people promote to conserve electricity and not to waste it. As long as you're using it, that's okay. You can use it for as long as it's important. But then to leave things running where you're not using it, just like saying you pay for water and then you let water waste.
Ma, electricity is different from water. Let me explain something to you. If we are all metered in this country and you are paying your bills, would you waste power? No. The truth is because most people are paying after using, you come and bring one kind of bill that they don't know what it's all about. That is why they afford. My house, if they own AC, and they still come back unchecked. I'm telling you, it's as good as that. So his statement is not fit for a leader, except a ruler. Let me tell you for free, just that I mentioned my name and my voice will always tell me else. PSCN, NEPA, AEDC, they have work to do. Because the number of people that will contemplate NEPA 2 now, there are more than people paying bills. But they tell you true. Since they cannot buy units, JJL and wireless, they will just go and do a legal connection. That is what will start happening now. And people supporting Tinubu will tell you that AEDC made mistake, they are going to refund money. Somebody told me today in the office that you go and buy unit to be sure that it's 4 point something that is 1,000. People are using band A or this one, that one. I said he's supporting what is not proper.
All right.
And let me conclude now. Edo State, I see Shaibu defecting to another political party, the party he left. And you say Edo is not Lagos. Yes, I want to confirm to you. Categorically, I will not tell you the person that will win the election. But we know the person that will win the election. Edo true, no be Lagos. Thank you, dear. Have a beautiful program.
Thank you very much. But even that narrative of Lagos has changed. I mean, if we see how the 2023 election went, Lagosians proved certain things can change at the end of the day. Hello.
Hello, the Oracle.
You're welcome.
Nagaida, Digital Oracle. My name is Salasi.
Welcome, Salasi.
Oracle, what do you think? When do you think this ban ACATZ will the issue will stop? Hello?
Hello, Salasi. Your line went off.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
I say, when will this, I'm asking the Oracle, you can tell or you can foresee the future to tell us when will all this stop. Because this morning, I want to appreciate Dr. Itodo and Abubakar Ali, Tinubu Pekin. They sent me links and which I connected. And as I told you last week, I have 2 meters. 1 meter. In the same house, they are putting in the same place. 1 meter is reading band A. The second meter, band C. Me, it's not like what you could talk about my electricity, how to manage it. Yes, my children want to watch TV. I said no. Until 8 o'clock, we want to watch news. They said, Daddy, alone. I said, come on. You don't know what happened in band A. You don't expect me to go and buy 1,000 naira unit. They will give me only 4 units. I called them this morning. I placed my complaint. I would never allow this thing to be. I will follow them bomber to bomber until they solve this problem. Until they change that the main meter that they categorize me as band A. I'm not living in Asoko. I'm not living in Metema. Why would they put me in?
Well, but at least at this point, they've established the fact that it's not about where you live, but is how much the frequency of electricity that you get. Frequency of electricity that you.
We always ask: is there a rocket that meet power available? We always compare other countries. They travel to overseas. They enjoy everything there. Even in the African country, most of the African countries, they're enjoying this stable electricity. As I mentioned before, I say South Africa generates 8,000 megawatts. I say Egypt generates almost 59,000 megawatts. Algeria has multiple places of generation like carbon, solar, hydro, and wind. Why can't Nigeria do the same?
All right.
Morocco and so on and so. So they should do something about this band A, band B, band C. We don't want to be paying this exorbitant rate. And they are after comparing all this. How much is the minimum wage of other countries that they're comparing us with?
All right. Thank you very much, Selassie. I can see that's big on on people's mind. The first two callers focus more on something I said in passing about turning off your freezer. Hello.
Hello, King.
Yes, sir. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Tony. From Guatemala.
Welcome, Tony.
How are you and the family?
Everyone is fine and well, thank God.
Thank God. No, I don't know why Philip Schreiber, the former deputy governor of Edo, why he should fall into that big trap. I saw it coming. You could have, you need the body language of your principal. You don't get a support of your principal, forget about it. This shouldn't be by force. Yeah, you saw it. I know you've been pissed. And like you rightly said, and like some people advised, he could have resigned. You allow himself to be impeached. The Kogi State former deputy governor, no, he said he cannot be impeached. They asked the former governor, Kogi State, he impeached him and nothing happened. He went to court and nothing happened. We should know where we are. The kind of country we are, the kind of union we have, it will take him to nowhere. The governor doesn't want you, no matter what you do, you can't go anywhere. Being a veteran politician and a veteran politician would have known better and resign. And avoid all this humiliation and disgrace, especially from somebody he supported so much. Thank you and God bless him.
All right, thank you very much. A lot of people did advise that he should have, actually, that it would have been a better political move. But I think he had his own superior plan in his head, which isn't working in his favor at the moment. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Mr. Fayo call from my camera.
Go ahead, sir.
The last caller had spoken very well. If I were to be in Shuaibu, everybody said they saw this coming. And my mentor in the Lord teaches that if people look down on you, you look up to God Almighty. And whoever abandons you, plant your feet on the solid ground and stand firm. He has been in politics. He must have built the bridges in order have good relations with other people. I encourage him to look up to God Almighty, and somehow, good luck will come his way. And Sister Kim,
yeah.
About last week, Brother Fadik spoke on this electrics of the thing. And many of us know that he has been on seat in AEDC. He was part and parcel of all their programs. And he did know that people were paying for transformer, paying for poles, paying for electric wire. In many of the communities within Abuja here. I'm sure he must be listening now. And if it is a lie, he should say no.
What's your point exactly? Because I recall
my point is that the statement he made about 4 or 5 days ago, that the discourse should come up and say what they have they been able to develop. When he said was an insider there. The community where I'm living now, I paid to that community, and I paid for transformer. I have my receipt. At that time we were paid.
All right, sir. In summary, what is the point?
Now that he's a consultant, what he knows, he should not come and be telling us now that the disco should have done this. Many of the disco staff, they live large.
All right, thank you very much, sir. But this is not just to put up a defense. I know that Mr. Fadipo has always reiterated that people should not be buying the transformers on their own. It's something he always says repeatedly. So I was waiting for you to arrive at your point so that I know where to come in. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yes, welcome to the show.
Yeah, my name is Jerry.
Jerry, we're listening.
Yeah, for the police, we take it easy. It's just out of miscalculation. Because I don't know how the governor, Adam Oshomola, will finish 8 years. Central Benin take 8 years. He has to go back again. to their own senatorial zone. That's what they are calculating. And if the two zone is ruling now, there is going to be agitation in those states. You understand? That's what we are saying. If this thing be rotation, so that this thing no any problem in any state. For example, in the Southeast, if not in any state, the most it's not constitution, but people have abide about it. Going to trade senatorial zone, even in Western here, to understand. So that's what we are crying in federation. Let it this thing go to west, go to east, go to north, so that there is a peace in the land. No anything concern agitation in this country. You understand? Let's leave Shaibu just cool down. Cool down. If it's not installed today, maybe tomorrow. That's how life be. That is my own. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Do you like the idea of having some sort of portal where you can register complaint and other issues with the government? I mean, that is something they are looking at, and it's in the works, where you can actually share some thought with the government about how you feel. I'm going to get that story out in a bit, but just before we get there, the federal government, and I'm sure you spoke extensively about this on the morning show, is to launch 3 national identity cards in May this year, and has a target of providing them for about 104 million citizens across the country. The 3 new national identity cards planned by the National Identity Management Commission include a bank-enabled national ID card, a social intervention card, and an optional ECOWAS National Biometric National Card. The technical advisor, media and communication to the DG of NIMSI, disclosed this in an interview and said Nigerians should start getting their 3 national ID card within 1 or 2 months of the launch. However, said the launch date May was subject to the approval of the president. And they will expect the bank-enabled national ID card to meet the need of the middle and upper segment to typically use banks within the next 1 or 2 months. Also, activation of the National Safety Net Card to meet the urgent need for authentication and secure platform for government services such as palliative within the next 1 or 2 months. The focus will be on the 25 million vulnerable. They are the ones who will get this older card enabled to profile them. But then the thing is, you know, my grouse with this is, if you have 25 million people, how often would you be updating this particular card you were giving them, and also downgrading people who you feel no longer in that vulnerable group, or for life? They are going to just be vulnerable people for life. That's one thing to look at in the future. And then the bank one, when originally NIMSI was coming out, I remember when I got my card, it had this chip thing in it, this sensitive, I don't know what to call it. But the idea then was, before it expired, was for me to be able to link it to my bank and do transaction with it and all of that. I think that one fell flat on its face. We never really used the potential that the national ID card had, and then it expired. As a matter of fact, when I received my own, it had already expired. When I eventually collected my national identity card, it had expired. I was like, what? I didn't know it was expiring, but yeah. My citizenship card expired at that point in time. Well, NIMSI card, that is. My citizenship cannot expire. So, yeah, this is something like they're bringing back to saying bank enable. Your ID card will be able to allow you to do all of those transactions. Then they will have those also under the National Social Safety Net, who will have a special ID to identify them, and then a special ECOWAS one. So I think it's a perfect time for us to bring NIMSI in to enlighten Nigerians a bit more as to what is all of this. It sounds like a lot going on at once. Why can't you have one card that has all of your data, that, you know, once you swipe it or whatever, it just gives you all of the information that you need. It tells me, oh, this person is poor and vulnerable, so this person is qualified for the ECOWAS one, this person can use it for the bank. It just feels like, but maybe it's not as easy as I make it sound in my head. Like, why would there be multiple cards for multiple category of people? And how often, knowing the difficulty experience in registering and even getting the card out. Like I mentioned, I got mine when it expired already. So what's the guarantee that 1 month, 2 months, like they're making it sound very casual, will not become 1 year, 2 years afterwards? And if you definitely, these cards will come with an expiry date. I mean, you're supposed to use them before they expire, then go back. It just sounds like so much is going on at this point in time, and Nigerians need to have a buy-in to really appreciate what is being done. So we would give them benefit of the doubt to get to hear detail as to what this is about, and then make our conclusion. But for now, I leave it to your interpretation. Hello? Yes.
Hello.
Welcome. What's your name?
My name is Lukman. I'm calling from Zamani.
Lukman, please turn off your radio.
Okay. So, my reaction is to this multiple that you just mentioned. They want to launch it in May. I want to ask, I didn't hear the feature of the voting feature. They are supposed to also include that.
To have one like a permanent voter's card so they can vote with it?
Absolutely. It is not a rocket science. They can do it, but because the politicians who are policymakers, they always have a different intention. Voting feature in that card. Because all are going to be with biometrics. Therefore, they're able to manipulate it because the thumbprinting is. We advise them to delay the implementation. Let them include the process of collecting that voter card, which often, most times, are. So I advise them, those policymakers,
All right, Lukman, I've been trying to just go on with you, but the network isn't helping your calls at this point in time. St. Patrick says on the impeachment of the former Edo State Deputy Governor, I saw it coming. However, he, the former deputy, had a lot of faith that he forgot that in Nigerian politics, faith doesn't always work. I just hope he would not cause any problem for the people, Democratic Party, seeing that he has nothing more to fight for. Secondly, I just hope his impeachment is really for the good of the people, is what he said on our YouTube page. On Facebook, Chris the page says, well done work. Please do increase the volume of the callers. It's a bit low. Or is it? Sorry about that. Now to the topic on ground, the high cost of electricity in the Ban A, which mostly company areas will still land on the average Nigerians. As for Edo people, they should choose who they want, and I hope their vote counts at the end of the day. Also, Francis Namani says the federal government should do everything possible to address the current hike in electricity tariff to ameliorate the plight of average people. God help us all. Ramat Yusuf, I see you. Ramat Yusuf Bola. And okay, also Francis is watching from Enugu State. Thank you so much for joining us. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Welcome to the show. What's your name?
Samuel from Gobolada.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say that the cartel are succeeding in taking over some of the institutions in Nigeria. Net power holding. Now, the REC, that is the Electricity Regulatory Commission, the government, and the discos, they have succeeded in turning themselves into meter. I wonder why the meter can read 20 hours supply of electricity. Meter can equally record 10 hours supply as well as 5 hours supply. Now, what is the necessity of NAREC, DISCO, and federal government turning themselves into meter instead of concentrating and supplying everybody with meter? The cartel. Now they are shifting to another section. This is a national ID card of this and national ID card of that. Honestly speaking, Nigeria should be very, very careful. Otherwise, everything will fall into the hands of the cartel. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Let's go on a break now for the news. At the top of the hour, Dorcas is seated.
is Nigeria Info.